Some supercars are fast, some are rare, but few are so brutally powerful, so dangerously engineered, and so unpredictable that they earned a reputation no brand ever wants. Deadly. Today, we're counting down the supercars that push performance to such extremes. They became infamous for the lives they claimed, the crashes they caused, and the terrifying engineering behind them. And trust me, number one is a car even professional drivers fear. Let's start the list. Number 10, the Dodge Viper ACR. Raw, violent, and completely unforgiving. No traction control, no stability control, no electronic brain to save you. Just a massive V10 front engine, and enough torque to twist the chassis. The ACR wasn't dangerous because it was flawed. It was dangerous because it demanded perfection. One wrong input, and the rear tires would let go instantly. It became legendary for being a driver's car, but also notorious for spin-outs and track accidents. If your skills were even slightly off, the Viper reminded you, very quickly, that it had zero mercy. Number 9, the Ferrari F40. A masterpiece, yes, but one built during a time when safety electronics didn't exist. Twin-turbo lag so violent that the car would go from calm to explosive in a single heartbeat. Drivers would accelerate, nothing would happen, and then, BM, the turbos kicked like a sledgehammer. Combine that with old-school brakes, no traction aids, and a chassis made of lightweight composites that shattered in crashes, and the F40 developed a reputation as a car that rewarded bravery, but punished overconfidence. Number 8, the Lamborghini Diablo VD. Exotic, beautiful, terrifying. This car was built during Lamborghini's wild era. Brutal V12 power, heavy steering, and chassis that didn't care if you were ready or not. Early models had unpredictable handling at high speeds, especially when lifting off the throttle mid-corner. Many drivers weren't ready for the way the rear would suddenly snap out. Even with all-wheel drive, the Diablo earned a long list of high-speed crashes, simply because you had to constantly fight the power. Number 7, the Porsche Carrera GT. The car with a reputation so dark that Porsche will never build anything like it again. A carbon chassis, razor-sharp steering, and an F1 derived V10 engine that revved to the moon. But the problem was the tires. The original tires hardened over time, making the rear end unpredictable, especially at highway speeds. Combine that with no traction control and a notoriously difficult clutch, and even professional drivers found the limit by accident, not by choice. It became one of the most feared and respected modern supercars ever made. Number 6, the TVR Sagaris. TVR had one rule: no safety systems, no ABS, no traction control, no airbags, nothing. It was a beautiful death trap. A lightweight chassis with a massive power-to-weight ratio and an engine that delivered power instantly. The Sagaris was famous for high-speed instability because even small bumps or steering inputs could send the car sideways. It was beloved for its savagery, but feared because every drive felt like rolling the dice. Number 5, the Saleen S7 Twin-Turbo. America's first true hypercar, and one of the scariest. Ridiculously fast, brutally powerful, and missing modern stability systems. The S7 had a narrow body, long wheelbase, and a twin-turbo setup that could overwhelm the tires instantly. At high speeds, the car had aerodynamic quirks that made sudden lane changes extremely dangerous. Drivers often underestimated how sharp the S7 really was, and many found out the hard way. Number 4, the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640. One of the most beautiful Lamborghinis ever built. Also one of the most unpredictable. The weight, combined with a massive V12 power, made the car extremely difficult to control when traction was low. Rain, dust, cold pavement. Any of these could send the rear wheels sliding. Many accidents involved straight-line loss of control because the Murcielago delivered brutal torque even at low RPMs. In the right hands, it was a monster. In the wrong hands, it was a weapon pointing at its own driver. Number 3, the Koenigsegg CCX. One of the fastest cars of its time, and one of the wildest to drive. Early models had aerodynamics that weren't fully dialed in, making high-speed stability a serious issue. The Top Gear crash is the most famous example, where the Stig himself lost control. The CCX was so fast and so powerful that even experienced drivers struggled to manage wheel spin at over 100 miles per hour. Koenigsegg eventually added a rear wing to improve stability, but by then its reputation was already sealed. Number 2, the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. On paper, it was a grand tourer. In reality, it was a rocket with a long nose and a rear end that didn't always cooperate. The combination of front mid-mounted supercharged V8 and extremely stiff braking made the SLR prone to snap oversteer. Many owners complained that the car felt fine one second and unpredictable the next. Several high-profile crashes cemented its reputation as a supercar that required constant respect, especially at high speeds. And now, number 1, the deadliest supercar ever built, the Ford GT 2005-2006. Not because it was unsafe in the factory, but because it was so brutally fast, so aerodynamically sensitive, and so lightweight that even slight mistakes were catastrophic. Countless crashes happened because of wheel spin at speeds over 80 miles per hour. The car's weight distribution and torque delivery made the rear end extremely lively. Many owners, wealthy, unprepared, inexperienced, treated the Ford GT like a toy, but it wasn't a toy. It was a little man's race car disguised as a road car. High-speed tragedies, rollovers, and stability loss accidents made it infamous. Car collectors call it the car that demands total respect, and even then it might still bite. At the end of the day, these cars weren't evil. They were simply machines built for a level of skill most drivers don't have. Extreme power, minimal safety systems, old-school engineering. It created legends, but also created fear. Which of these cars shock you the most? And which one do you think deserves the number 1 spot? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more insane car history, mysteries, and supercar deep dives, check out the next videos on the channel. You're going to love them,